Hello, welcome to Homebuyer University. Thanks so much for tuning in today. So my name is Chris McCarron. I'm Boston's real estate guru, and I am here to help you become a homeowner. So the first thing I want to tackle in this episode 1 is the idea of timing the market. The idea that there's a right time to buy. I hear a lot of people who are thinking about buying a house saying, oh, I can't buy a house now because the market is too high, prices are too high. And that's a good way to think about it if you are an investor. If you're an investor, there's a right time and a wrong time. There's a right place and a wrong place. But really, if you're buying to live there, listen to Robert Kiyosaki. Your home is not an asset. It's not an asset unless it's paying you money every month, and your house is most likely not going to do that unless you're going to do a house hack, which we'll talk about in a later episode. But for the most part, all you're doing is you're buying membership into a club. Think about it this way. If you love Apple and you've always wanted to be an Apple stockholder, sure, there's a right and a wrong time to buy Apple stock. But when you need a computer, you just got to go out and buy one. You can't be like waiting for you can wait for something to go on sale, whatever. And the idea of sales is more of a year-long type of a thing. So while, at least in the Boston area, in the spring, like right now it's February and the market is so hot because there's not too many houses on the market. Tons of people have been waiting to buy all winter, like since before November. They've been waiting to look at stuff and there's been nothing to look at. And now there's 3 houses on the market. So, dozens of people are streaming into these open houses and, waiting out in the cold till their turn to come in. And you're just getting outbid and there's all kinds of drama going on. If you can wait even until April, you're going to find that there's a lot more inventory, a lot less people that you'll be competing with. But, that requires a lot of self control. But the idea that in the overall broad scheme of things, people say, oh, we're in a bubble. It's a real estate bubble. We can't buy it for 2 more years. Well, don't go there, because in those 2 years, you're shelling out a bunch of money for rent. You're not getting any tax deductions. Nothing great is happening in your life. You can't add value. You can't add sweat equity. You can't really do anything because you're living in somebody else's house. So yes, within the season, a couple months here or there can make a difference. But within the big, giant scope of the years and, the 13-year real estate cycle, as a homeowner, even if you buy at the absolute top of the market and you have to sell at the absolute bottom of the market, if you're just going to turn around and buy another home, it really doesn't matter. Because if you lose money on the first house, you're going to pay that much less for the second house. So please, if you're thinking about buying a house, don't sweat it anymore. Don't worry about analyzing market sectors and what's happening in the real estate world. Talk to your real estate agent. Find out if now is a good time in the seasonal market to buy a house. Like the best time is around the holidays. There's nothing to look at. There's only a few houses out there, but every house that's out there, those people have got to sell. Nobody's going to have their house on the market in the middle of Thanksgiving unless they really need to sell. But if you don't want to look at Thanksgiving and you want to get the house that's not one of the crappy houses that's on the market in the middle of November, then you're just going to have to fight with everybody else. You're going to have bidding wars, that's what's going on. And the other thing to think about is one of the things that often drives down the price is when the interest rates go up. So people who can afford to pay, $2,000 a month for their mortgage, maybe that means they can buy a $400,000 house this year because interest rates are low. But when interest rates go up to 7 or 8 or 9%, that person's just by default going to have to buy a cheaper house because they've only got so much money every month. So that's another thing that drives interest rates, and that drives home prices. And that doesn't help you either, because yes, house prices go down, but you're still basically buying the same house and paying the same amount per month. So there's lots of strategies about this. We could talk about it ad nauseum. But for you, first-time home buyer, I just want you to know that you can absolutely 100% buy your house this year. Don't wait. Get in the club, get in the exclusive home buyers club, because whether or not you know this, home buyers have an average, how can I say this properly? Compared to renters, home buyers have 40 times more household wealth than renters. So let me say it again. Homeowners have 40 times, on average, nationwide, 40 times the household wealth of a renter. So if a renter, like the renter's average household wealth is about $6,300. So that means that the average homeowner's household wealth is about $250,000. That is like such a huge difference. And that's not even thinking about your house as an investment. That's just, the way life works. I mean, I suppose there's a lot of sides to that, like maybe the fact that you can buy a home means that you already have some more wealth, but also even people in the same company, because while you're living in that property that you're renting, your landlord is raising your rent, and you're not getting any kind of tax benefits. Whereas as soon as you buy into the club and become a homeowner, you might be paying the same amount per month, but you're getting tax deductions. You're getting some appreciation. Great things are happening. So that's my advice for you today. If you want to connect more, just shoot me an email, bostonrguru@gmail. Have a fantastic week, and you can look forward to the next episode, which is setting goals. Goal setting is so important in home buying, and a lot of people skip that step. So see you next week.